Location, office hallway, late evening. The office was quiet, the day's chaos long faded into soft humming lights and the distant echo of a vacuum cleaner. Director Ahmed, on his way to retrieve some forgotten files, walked down the gleaming hallway lined with glass walls. As he passed the janitorial staff, he paused. A soft thud, the sound of a spray bottle dropping, caught his attention. The cleaner, a woman in her late 20s, flinched and quickly bent to pick it up. Her sleeve rolled back slightly as she reached forward, revealing a dark, purpling bruise on her forearm. Ahmed frowned. "You all right?" he asked gently, his voice low and steady. "Your arm looks hurt." The woman froze, eyes wide. For a second, she didn't answer. Then she gave a forced smile and shook her head. "Just clumsy. I slipped at home," she said quickly, pulling her sleeve down. He nodded slowly but didn't speak. His eyes lingered a moment too long, thoughtful, then he gave a soft nod and continued on his way. But he didn't forget. Behind his calm exterior, something stirred, concern, suspicion, and a quiet fury. She hadn't just winced in pain. She'd winced in fear. And her explanation, though practiced, was too quick, too familiar. He'd heard it before, from victims who were too scared to tell the truth. As he walked away, he glanced back once more. She was already cleaning again, avoiding his gaze. He made a silent promise to himself, if something's going on, I'll find out. And I'll help her, no matter what. What started as a passing moment had turned into something much bigger, a quiet beginning to a story that would soon shake the entire office. Director Ahmed sat alone at his desk, the early morning sun casting long shadows across the polished wood. The memory of the cleaner's bruised arm haunted him. He couldn't shake the look in her eyes, a look he now recognized. Fear masked as politeness. Driven by instinct and responsibility, he logged into the building's internal security system. Clip by clip, he watched days of footage. There she was, always arriving before anyone else, shoulders hunched, eyes darting. And then, every evening, she'd leave quickly, her steps hurried, never making eye contact with the security guard or other staff. Not once did she linger, chat, or appear relaxed. He leaned forward, pausing a clip. There it was again, another moment where she pulled her sleeve down, hiding fresh bruises. His chest tightened. This wasn't clumsiness. This was fear. This was something much darker. Without hesitation, he clicked print on several screenshots, carefully documenting her patterns. Then, picking up the phone, he called HR. "I need to file a confidential report," he said firmly. "And I'll need full discretion." After that, he made another call, to a trusted social worker who worked closely with abuse survivors. "There's someone who may need help. She's not ready to speak, but I can't ignore this." As he hung up, he sat in silence for a moment, the gravity of the situation sinking in. He wasn't just a director anymore, not in this story. He was a witness, and maybe, just maybe, her first real lifeline. He looked at the printed images, the fear in her posture. "You don't have to speak," he whispered softly to no one. "But I hear you." And with that, the wheels of quiet justice began to turn. The neighborhood was quiet, tucked into the edge of the city, small buildings with peeling paint and narrow stairways. Director Ahmed stood outside one of the apartment doors, accompanied by Nadia, the HR officer. Both looked tense but resolute. In Ahmed's coat pocket, his phone remained connected to a silent line, the police dispatcher listening in, just as planned. He raised his hand and knocked firmly. Moments passed. Then the door swung open with a jolt. A large man stood there, scowling, eyes bloodshot. "What do you want?" he growled, noticing Ahmed's formal suit and Nadia's clipboard. "We're here for her," Ahmed said, voice calm but strong. "And we're not leaving without her." The man's nostrils flared. "You've got no right, she's my wife." This is my house. From inside, a soft, frightened voice echoed, "Who is it?" The cleaner stepped into view, eyes widening when she saw her director. Her face was pale, a fresh bruise on her temple barely hidden with makeup. Nadia took a slow step forward. "You don't have to say anything. We're here to help. You're not alone." The husband lunged forward as if to block the doorway, but suddenly, blue lights flashed from the street. Sirens, brief and sharp. 3 officers rushed up the stairs. "We've got it from here," one of them said, stepping between the director and the man. The abuser shouted in protest, but it was over. Handcuffed and shouting, he was led away. The cleaner stood trembling in the doorway, tears streaming down her face. I didn't think anyone would come." Ahmed gently placed a hand on his chest. "You don't have to believe in us yet. But we believe in you." For the first time in years, she took a deep, unafraid breath. The room was warm but quiet, painted in soft colors meant to soothe weary hearts. A donated heater buzzed gently in the corner. On a modest couch near the window, the cleaner sat curled into herself, wrapped in a borrowed shawl. Her eyes were red and swollen, but tears still streamed down her cheeks, the kind of crying that comes not just from pain, but from years of holding it in. She didn't notice when Director Ahmed entered the room. He stood silently for a moment, unsure if his presence would help or hurt. But then she looked up and whispered, "You came." He nodded and stepped forward, sitting across from her. "I don't understand," she murmured, voice shaky. "Why would you do all this for someone like me? A cleaner. I'm nobody. No one ever noticed. No one ever cared." Ahmed's face softened. He leaned forward slightly, his voice gentle yet unwavering. "Well, I noticed," he said. "And I care." She broke down again, sobbing into her hands, but this time, not from fear. This time, the tears came with a strange, fragile relief. "People think noticing is enough," he continued. "But it's not. Action is what matters. And you deserve to feel safe, not just at work, but everywhere." She looked up, and in her eyes, a flicker of something new, hope. "You don't have to go back to that life," he added. "We're arranging housing, therapy, and legal help. You're not alone anymore." She nodded slowly, voice barely audible. "Thank you. I didn't know